One. Good morning. My name is Lorena Lozada. Could you tell me your full name, please?
Good morning. My name is Dayan Liceo Osorio Pulido.
And what child I call you?
You can call me Dayan.
Okay, now in this first part of the exam, I'm going to ask you some question about yourself. Let's talk about prime time. What do you enjoy doing in your free time?
I'm my parent. I love to listen to music.
How much time do you have each weekend for doing these things?
Normally, I listen to music every day. I always dedicate my parent time to listen to it.
Why do you like doing these activities?
I love doing this activity is something I am passionate about and it seems to me that listens to music is the best that it can be. That's the best variety. For example, while listening to music to study, working in the house, have a coffee, dance, etc.
How did you start doing this activity at first?
Well, I did started doing these activities since I was chill. I was liking music and different songs.
Let's move on and talk about begging on time for appointments. Is being late acceptable in your culture?
I don't think it's acceptable in the counter as they shows that person has no community, is not interested what they're doing. And
Are you ever late for a appointment?
yes, I have ever been late for an appointment studently. Do a Misha or some calamity?
What? What type of excuses do you think aren't far for latent?
A reason or excuses that should be done in the code for later arrival is because something on the way summit is happening, but the show wise were from the person waiting waiting for you know what do worry.
How do you feel when someone is late for an appointment with you?
Yeah, and the person excuse me that this person has given for which he will be late, although when the person and does not justify his later arrival and very impatient the way for him.
Part 2. Now let's move on the second part of the exam. I'm going to hide you a topic and I like you talk about in for 1 2 minutes before you start. You will have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You can make some notes if you want. Do you understand?
Yes, of course.
I would like you to describe a beautiful place in your country. Alright, remember you have 1 to 2 minutes for things. Some don't worry if it stop you. I will tell you when the time is up. Can you start speaking now, please?
A beautiful country in the city of Santa Marta, Colombia, located in the Caribbean, is the capital of the department of Magdalena. Is a city that was founded on July 29, 1525. Eh, is characterized by being a city with tourist culture and history because it is one the oldest in the cities in Colombia. You can visit on the city in various ways, such as by bus, plane or boat, and if of the routes are accessible both foreign and people from the same country through the Caribbean Sea Atlantic. Thousands of tons arrive by ship with important cargo and white sign white export are made with the best Colombia products. It is a city that characterized by the 2,000 of the diseases in the stand of for biodiversity in the city, one of the grand tourists in Rodadero Beach, where it can take boat, go to Playa Blanca and visit the aquarium in the center of the city. We think beach on the bike, wishing the world city. We can go to the park of the couple, visit the cathedral, Louvre, and the France. In the market square, we can take a bus to Minca and Tayrona, two tourist attractions in the city. We can also go to Taganga, where the best species of corals are in the front there. We can boas toward other beach than belong the Tayrona Park.
Thank you. Why you like to go there in the future?
Yes, would you like return beautiful city, the Perth of America?
Part 3. Now we have been talking about a place you have recently visited, and I would like to ask you some more general questions related to this topic. First of all, let's talk about place and tourists. We do you think people like to travel to different place in their free time?
People like to love to travel, to see new places, and to live the routine, to enjoy a good rate.
How do you see tourism changing in your country in the future?
In Colombia, tourism is very important since it drives the economy most cities in the country. I would think that the if will improve order to attract tourists the cities of the country.
Why it's important to protect the countryside?
The fields are important protein because that's on the have food, which is very essential for human life and must also be taken care of because certain species provide in the ecosystem.
In what ways in the countryside in danger in your country?
The field is danger when insecticides are happy to contaminate the water and they do some species are dying, affecting their consistency and putting some animals on the rare extinction.
Why are history buildings and monuments important to a city?
Historical monuments charity says a world heritage sites in Colombia do de culture, architecture and age.
Thank you. That is the end of the speaking text.